Have you ever wondered how a global political crisis begins and evolves over time? Today we're going to take you back to the early stages of the Russia-Ukraine crisis. A crisis that started with Russia's bold invasion of Ukraine, a move that shocked the world and led to a series of unforeseen consequences. One of these was a significant drop in natural gas prices, a commodity that has been a hot topic in global economics. As we delve deeper into this crisis, we will understand its progression and its impact on global politics. The crisis began with Russia's invasion of Ukraine, an event that sent shockwaves through the world. This brazen act of aggression was not met with silence. Instead, it stirred the global community into immediate action. World leaders were quick to condemn Russia's actions, with the United States leading the charge. President Joe Biden described the events as the beginning of an invasion, a stark portrayal that left no room for diplomatic niceties. But words were not the only weapons wielded in this battle. In response to Russia's actions, a cascade of sanctions rained down on the nation. The United States, coordinating with its allies in Europe, halted the certification of the Nord Stream 2 gas pipeline, a major blow to Russia's energy sector. Other Western nations followed suit, imposing their own sanctions on Russia. These initial actions marked the world's collective stand against the invasion. However, this was just the first act in what would become an escalating drama of international politics and power plays. The world watched in apprehension as the crisis unfolded, but the real changes were yet to come. The invasion not only affected Ukraine and Russia, but it had a ripple effect across the globe. As the conflict escalated, its impact was felt far beyond the borders of these two nations, particularly in the energy sector. The most tangible proof was the significant drop in natural gas prices across Europe and the United States, a phenomenon not seen since before the crisis began. This price drop wasn't a random occurrence, it was the result of several factors working in concert. Firstly, a change in the weather played a significant role. As the world moved into warmer months, the demand for heating and consequently natural gas decreased. This reduction in demand naturally led to a decrease in prices. Secondly, there was a substantial increase in gas storage. As nations braced themselves for potential energy shortages due to the crisis, they began to stockpile natural gas. This increased supply led to a further reduction in prices. But perhaps the most influential factor was the diversification of gas imports. In the face of the crisis, countries began to seek alternative sources of natural gas, reducing their reliance on Russia. This diversification not only diluted Russia's influence over global energy markets, but also contributed to the drop in gas prices. It's important to note that while these lower gas prices were a welcome relief for consumers, they didn't immediately translate into reduced retail prices. This is due to fixed or capped pricing in some countries, where the government controls the retail price of gas. As a result, the benefits of the drop in gas prices took time to reach the consumers. Moreover, while the lower gas prices were a welcome sigh of relief for many, they were merely a silver lining in a dark cloud. The crisis had far-reaching implications, and its resolution was far from sight. As we'll see in the next scene, the political fallout from the crisis was just as significant, if not more so. While the lower gas prices were a welcome relief for consumers, the crisis was far from over. The invasion had far-reaching political consequences, both domestically and internationally. It brought about a wave of reactions from leaders across the globe, with the United States in the spotlight. President Joe Biden, in an act of solidarity with the besieged nation of Ukraine, announced stringent sanctions against Russia. His actions were not just punitive, but also served as a clear message to the world that invasion and aggression would not be tolerated. But the political waters in the United States were anything but calm. The crisis in Ukraine exposed a divide in the American political landscape. Former President Donald Trump, in a controversial move, lauded Russian President Vladimir Putin, calling him smart. This sparked outrage and concern, not just because it seemed to undermine the country's official stance, but also because it raised questions about the support for democracy within the Republican Party. Internationally, this crisis has underscored the ongoing global battle between democracy and autocracy. Amidst the political fallout, alliances are being tested, new partnerships are being formed, and the balance of power is wavering. The world watches as the geopolitical chessboard is violently reshuffled, with each move potentially altering the course of global politics. As the crisis continues, the global political landscape shifts, with unpredictable outcomes. Understanding the progression of a crisis like the Russia-Ukraine situation offers valuable insights into global politics. We've walked through the onset of this conflict, observed how it ripples across continents, impacting not just political relationships but also everyday commodities like natural gas. Europe and the United States witnessed significant drops in gas prices to pre-crisis levels, a fluctuation influenced by several factors from weather to market diversification. The political fallout was equally palpable. Leaders like President Biden stood on the global stage, announcing sanctions and emphasizing diplomacy's critical role. Yet, the echoes of former President Trump's praises for Russian President Putin resonate, reminding us of the varied perspectives within political landscapes. This crisis underscores the intricate dance between political decisions and their far-reaching effects, from energy markets to diplomatic relations. It's a testament to the interconnectedness of our world, where a conflict in one region can reverberate across the globe. While the future remains uncertain, one thing is clear: global politics is a complex web of interactions, each with its potential to change the course of history.